Firebrand tends to be brought up a lot when people talk about broken classes, but I don't see them talking about the DPS version all that much in this regard. I'm here to rectify that because, frankly, what the fuck. For the record, this was pretty much the first time I played Firebrand since the Tome rework, and the results were way ahead of whatever I was getting normally for builds that I don't play a whole lot. But I'm getting ahead of myself, let's start normally. Condi Firebrand is somehow simultaneously really easy and also full of largely unrelated gimmicks. Let me explain. Mostly you're playing around the F1 tome, trying to use tome 5, 4, and 2 as often as possible, usually in that order. The tome rework has made this not totally intuitive, but generally you can go in whenever you have 4 pages and burn through all but one of them. The tome 5 is one of your most impactful damage skills, and a big part of that is the buff it shares with allies nearby. The burning that buff applies uses your stats and counts towards your damage, and you always want to be stacked on group when using it so you get the full effect. Next up is the Torch 4. The Radiant Fire trait gives you essentially additional casts of the initial skill, and then lets you do the flip over. It's weird, but the flip over is so good that you kind of don't want to just let it run out. So that's 2 gimmicks, how about a third? Mantras. At this point, they made it so that once again, you have to manually charge your mantras. Now, thankfully, they do this automatically between fights now, at least for Guardian, but apparently Flame Mantra's final charge is now actually worth using, but hot damn if it's not a pain to charge it again. With all these oddities accounted for, why do I still say this is an easy build? Because there is almost no punishment for messing up or slowing down. Beyond the somewhat ridiculously long opener, it is essentially just a priority rotation, which are always a bit easier to keep track of. And unlike many other builds with high damage ceilings, you have almost no dependence on what the boss is doing, and any mistakes or delays on your end won't interrupt any combos or setups you're trying to pull off, which is an issue that other classes run into frequently. But hey, that's not what people talk about when they discuss Firebrand being broken, though I think they kind of should. No, it's the utility. Your survivability is a bit mediocre, or to get that out of the way, but your utility options are some of the most versatile in the game. Inherently, you get Cleanse, a healing buff, an Emergency Reflect, and Stab, though be careful with that last one because the Toughness buff can mess with raid aggro, so just be aware of that. But if you need a bit more of any of those options, you're certainly not lacking. And replacing the Signet for a utility option gives you access to some fantastic skills, including really good Stab, an even better Cleanse, good CC, an upgraded Reflect, and perhaps the best Aegis skill in the game. It's kind of hard to praise Condi Firebrand too much. Really, any critique I can bring up is mostly rooted in my cynicism and the fact that I'm kind of just a bit sick of seeing it. But it is just really, really good.